This game recap is brought to you by IBC Bank. IBC Bank, we do more. Sitterly Homes, Network Funding, and by Greg Sherman Videography. Call 419-902-3353 for all your video needs in San Antonio and the Hill Country. The future was now last week for the Reagan Rattlers in a 34-21 loss to Cibolo Steel as sophomore quarterback Lance Lawrence made his varsity debut, and he threw for a couple of touchdown passes and looked pretty strong. They had a great contribution from freshman running back Carson Green making his first varsity start. He went for 102 yards and a touchdown, showing that the future is very bright for the Rattlers. Tonight, Reagan looks to avoid their first ever 0-3 start in school history as they will go back up to Schertz to take on Clemens. Last year, the Buffaloes blew a 14-0 lead, could have been 21-0, but a touchdown was called back by penalty, and the Rattler defense was able to bow up and played extremely well the final 3 quarters. The Buffaloes, meanwhile, are 2-0 in the season, both their wins against Northeast opponents, meaning if they beat the Rattlers tonight, they will have a strong leg up on the district. Of course, they don't play in this district. They play in District 26, 6A. The game was played on Friday the 13th and appropriately featured more strange twists and turns than a car ride with Stevie Wonder. After missing the first 2 games of the season, Travis Staley returned to the lineup. His first throw of the season was a long completion to his baseball buddy Staten Ankrum. Later in the quarter, he threw a 17-yard touchdown pass to another baseball buddy, Zane Raba, like he was already in mid-season form. Reagan, though, kept dealing with mistakes that could only be done on Friday the 13th. Clemens back to punt 4th and long, but the kicker got knocked down by the Rattler special teams, wiped out a huge return, and kept the Buffalo drive alive, which would eventually lead to a touchdown. There's Paul Lane, who was one of the replacement officials during the NFL officiating lockout in 2012. Later in the quarter, bad snap. Staley couldn't pull the ball in. Rattlers unable to fall on it, instead picked up by Derek Lewis again, who this time returned the ball for a free snow cone and a touchdown. 14-7 Clemens back in front, and they would lead 21-7 at recess. Third quarter, Clemens drove to the Rattlers 16, but had to settle for a 33-yard field goal. Kick was good, but flags all over the play. Replays show that the Rattlers were called for leaping. Personal foul gave Clemens a free first down. It led to a Max DiDomenico short touchdown run, and it was 28-7 Clemens midway through the third quarter. 18 of the points came off Rattler penalties and turnovers. The Clemens faithful, friends, family, spirit squads, and meter maids were celebrating a 3-0 start to the season. None of them, though, realized the full moon was out above them, and Friday the 13th with a full moon often leads to strange things and a visit to the Twilight Zone. Staley started the comeback with a 53-yard pass to Blake Thompson down to the Clemens 13. A Carson Green touchdown run a couple of plays later cut the deficit to 28-14. Ensuing Clemens drive, DiDomenico keeper, but he got hit by Matthew Scannell, lost the ball. Richard Jones eventually recovered the toy. Jacob Bullock knocked down on the play by our Buffalo's players, so had 15 yards to the turnover. The Rattler drive after the turnover went into the fourth period. They faced a 4th and goal, a big chance for the Buffs to snuff out the rally, but Staley manages to get to the goal line for the score, strike up the band. Even with a shaky camera, it's 28-21, Reagan back to within 1 score. Next Rattler drive into Buff territory, Carson Green first down run, but he lost the football. Picked up and returned by Marcellus Castaneda, Clemens celebrates, but little did they realize the significance of that third turnover. Since 2015, Reagan is 6-0 in regular season games in which they commit at least 3 turnovers. That included a 5-turnover game last year against MacArthur. The last loss in such games was the 2014 regular season opener against O'Connor. Defense did force a 3-and-out, which gave Reagan a chance again to tie, but they faced a 3rd and 13 at their own 24. Staley, though, came through hitting Raba on a crossing pattern 16 yards to move the sticks. Ankrum only caught 3 balls in the game. You You saw the first one earlier. The second one here went for 40 yards and another Rattler first down. Under 2 minutes remaining for Reagan to come back, which brings us to our IBC Bank do more plays of the game. 3rd and goal to 10. Staley fade pattern to Ankrum. He out-jumped his man and got a cleat down in the Clemens scoring zone for the touchdown to tie the contest at 28. The second touchdown drive of the night in which Reagan converted 3 third downs.
He's had a rough couple 2 weeks, and then we needed him to step up here in week 3, and he did exactly that.
Rattler defense still needed another stop to give Staley a chance to win the game in regulation and avoid extra possessions. Staley, though, never got that chance. Matthew Scannell, the same one who forced the DiDomenico fumble in the third, jumped the route, picked off the pass, and returned it 40 yards for his free snow cone and the go-ahead touchdown. 2 touchdowns in 17 seconds, and suddenly the Rattlers had the lead.
Saw a stop route. We've been working it all week. Number 2, they threw it a couple times in the game. They completed it and just had to take a chance. We're a good defense.
You can't see Scannell on the replay, but you see his helmet. He read the quarterback's eyes, jumped the stop route as he mentioned, caught the pass, and ran all the way home for the touchdown. Ankrum and Scannell's touchdowns are IBC Bank do more plays of the game. IBC Bank, we do more. Defense, though, still needed to make one more play. Clemens' Hail Mary from the 45, DiDomenico's prayer not heard and unanswered, ball knocked down by the secondary. That's it. Fans slightly happy as the Rattlers avoid their first 0-3 start in school history.
We kind of shot ourselves in the foot in that first half, but we went into halftime and we made some adjustments and we came back fighting in the second half.
When we were at half, I said, I don't care if we're up by 21, if we're down by 21, we're going to go out there and we're going to finish the fight. We always talk about starting fast and finish strong, and for sure tonight we finished strong.
It was the second straight year Clemens blew a double-digit lead against Reagan, meaning they have blown leads of a combined 35 points against the Rattlers the last 2 years. It's the 7th straight regular season win by Reagan when they commit at least 3 turnovers. It's their first win when trailing by 10-plus points in the fourth quarter with under 5 minutes to go since September 6, 2013 versus O'Connor, when future Green Bay Packer Ty Summers had 2 touchdown runs in the closing minutes. As for the largest come-from-behind win, Rattler historians can't remember a larger comeback than that.
Against the wall, you remember tonight. You understand? Yes, sir. It's about teaching you about how to handle the bullcrap life throws at you. And you did a tremendous job of handling what they threw in your face. Reagan 35, Clemens 28.
Reporting from Schertz, I'm Greg Sherman.